Greetings, Temple Beth Shalom. Rabbi Boxed back with Parshat HaShavua. Last week we had a double portion, and this week we have a double portion. We have Parshiyot Acharei, Leviticus 16:1 through 18:30, and Parshat Kedoshim 19:1 through 20:27. So let's just jump right in. Acharei, after the death. So a few Parshiyot ago, we were dealing with the sudden death of Aaron's sons Nadav and Avihu, who had brought alien fire to God and had been incinerated. And then we had a brief interruption with these other two Parshiyot. And now we're returning to that story. So Moses speaks to Aaron, or God speaks to Moses, who then speaks to Aaron after the death of the two sons of Aaron. And these are the words that Moses is to tell Aaron. No one is to come at will into the shrine behind the curtain, in front of the cover, or so on and so forth. The only one that shall enter the shrine is Aaron. There's a description as how he's supposed to be dressed, what he's supposed to, what particular offerings he is supposed to bring, and he is to. Oh, this is one of the greatest stories, the story of Azazel. Aaron is to bring 2 goats in front of the shrine. This is on Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the year. One of the goats, Aaron is to whisper all of the sins of the people into his ear. This is the goat of Azazel. And then someone is responsible for taking that goat out into the wilderness and getting rid of the goat. There's all kinds of discussion about whether he gets pushed off the ledge or just led so far out that he can never come back. But the point is that they're trying to get the sins out of the way of or out of the community so they can be forgiven and move on. This is the original scapegoat, if you will. And so then this is the discussion of how Aaron is supposed to then purge the impurity out of the shrine. This shall be to you a law for all time. In the 7th month, on the 10th day of the month, you shall practice self-denial. You shall do no manner of work, neither the citizen nor the alien who resides among you. For on this day atonement shall be made for you to purify you of all your sins. You shall be pure before Adonai. This is the Day of Atonement. This is the absolute atoning of the sins of the Jewish people. Then there's discussion about laws about eating meat, what kinds of meat you're allowed to eat, laws about sexual limits, which forbidden relationships, and so on and so forth. And then we get to the end of this Torah portion, one of the most quoted lines in the world. It is, "Ve'et zachar lo tishkav mishkavei isha to'evahi." Do not lie with a male as one lies with a woman. It is an abhorrence. And we've talked about this in Torah study class a number of times. This is not necessarily about what's right or wrong versus homosexuality or heterosexuality. It's more a matter of what was proper back then, the way the community was able to succeed. This was about childbirth. This is one view, of course, that a male and a male could not lie together and have a child. And since childbirth was such an important part of the continuation of the community, one view, of course, here is that that's the reason it's there. But this is only one particular view, and there's all kinds of views out there. But that's one of the most quoted lines for good and for bad in the world. So then we get to Parshat Kedoshim, holiness. This portion stands literally at the center of the Torah. And this is God's way of telling the people, here is the formula to be holy. Here's the pathway to pure holiness. Something that is really, really important. And of course, we begin with you shall be holy, for I, your God, Adonai, am holy. Revere your mother and your father. Keep my Sabbaths. Do not turn to idols. When you make a sacrifice, this is what makes it right, or this is what makes it wrong. And this is when you should eat it and when you shouldn't eat it. The rights of the poor. The laws against theft and deceit, and that the courts are to be fair and just. There's not supposed to be one law for this person and one law for this person. Everyone has the same justice. There's laws against maintaining distinct categories. Don't have this kind of animal mate with this kind of animal. Don't take this kind of cloth and mix the two different kinds of material together. Of course, taking it a little bit far, but it's there. It's the discussion of purity. What's pure, what's not pure. Status of daughters. Daughters are given sacred status in the Bible. And then there's discussion about what we should and should not do to our bodies. And here is what happens if you desecrate. If you do something that takes away your purity, here's how you bring that holiness back to you. There's a whole discussion about family and the ethics of sex with your family. Obviously, not going to go into this conversation, but there is conversation or discussion about that. It all has to do with ritual holiness, ritual purity. And then, of course, that purity goes from God to the people to the land. It's a continuum. It's not a straight line. It goes up and down and around and all that kind of things. It's the purity is going, it's cyclical. When one is pure, the other is pure, and so on and so forth. And that is Acharei Kedoshim in a nutshell. So I wish you an early Shabbat Shalom, and I'll see you next time.